Hey guys, I'm about to let everyone in.
Yeah. So excited.
All right, here we go. Okay, everyone's coming in. Hello, hello. First webinar for our trip. Who's excited?
Me.
Yay! I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Yay!
Me
I'm
too.
excited.
All right, got some more people coming through.
Unstable.
Where does it say that?
It just came across and said your internet connection is unstable.
All right. Oh, look at all these faces. Hey, friends. I have been talking to all of you it feels like, for quite a while. So this is exciting. This is the first kind of time we're all in one space together.
Okay.
And before we know it, we're all going to be in Europe together, which is very exciting. Okay. We have 1 minute before the official start time. I want to make sure everybody knows how to find the chat and use the chat. So if you don't mind, over in the chat, if you could just type in where you're from. And if you're on your phone and it's too complicated, don't worry about it. I'm mostly doing this because I want you to know how to find the space during the presentation today if you have any questions or thoughts, because I want to make sure everyone has a chance to voice any questions or concerns. All over the country. How fun is that?
Thanks, Aaron. Well, I don't have any mute.
We are not muted.
Look at this. Spring Hill, Tennessee, that's where I am. Sarasota, Florida. Gilbert, Arizona. San Jose, California.
No.
Georgia, Kentucky. Franklin, Tennessee. Michigan, Maryland. Oops, Sawyer. Pennsylvania, Mount Juliet. Love it. Okay. All right, everybody. I'm going to share my screen so you can see the presentation. I will not be able to see the chat while I'm sharing my screen, so I'm not ignoring you. So if you have a question and I don't answer it for a few minutes, that's why. But I am going to get to the chat when I'm finished for any questions that you may have, okay? So here we go. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, first of all, here we go, Hardy. Okay. Now, again, I cannot see your lovely faces. I can only hear. So can someone tell me, can you see my screen that says, that has the lovely lady up on deck?
Yes.
Perfect.
No.
No?
I see a picture of you. I see your face. That's it.
Okay, so this happens sometimes. There might be a tab at the top of your Zoom that's presenter mode or who's in the Zoom. Make sure you're on the right tab and see if that helps. Is that Eileen? Was that you?
Yes,
Yeah. Are you on your phone?
I am.
Okay.
That's all I have access to.
I understand. Yeah, you're up the road from me right now, aren't you?
We are. Yep.
There's an event in Nashville right now. So
Yeah,
You should be able to
where
swipe over and see the larger one.
yeah, you should be able, if you're on your phone, There should be at the top maybe a tab to swipe over.
I've got everybody on here now. I have Kathy with me.
Here.
But
Hey,
Karen with me.
Karen. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
How are you? If you swipe again, you should pick up the slideshow.
All right. I'm going to let you keep trying on that, Eileen. This is being recorded, everyone.
Trying to
So
find a slideshow.
if we, let's see, if you can't.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I found it.
Perfect. All right. We're all here.
Helpful.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. Today's webinar is to go over our itinerary again and what excursions are going to be available, and then a chance for questions. This, of course, is the first of 4 webinars, so I'm not going to be covering packing today. I'm not covering a lot of logistics in that way because it is coming. But, you know, of course, if you ever have questions, you can reach out to me directly. But that is what we're covering today. And that's essentially all we're covering. So I won't take too much of your time, but this is helpful information. So, here's someone else coming in. Great. Santa Brown. All right. We are sailing with Avalon Waterways, and I'm thrilled for you to experience Avalon. I think that they offer one of the best river cruise experiences on the river. And one of the things that really makes Avalon special are their excursions. It's really where they shine. They've actually been a tour company for 100 years doing land tours. You may have heard of Globus before. That's the parent company of Avalon. And so as soon as they hit the rivers about 25 years ago, their excursions were really impressing the competitors. And so one of the most valuable things being a group like us is we've been able to have a lot of fun making really special experiences for all of you. So this trip is going to be a mix of things that are always offered, and then it's also going to be a mix of things that are only offered for us. And I can't see everybody because I'm in this presentation mode, but if you are not on mute, if you can go ahead and mute yourself, and then when we have the questions later, we can definitely unmute yourself and we can talk then. So Avalon offers 4 types of excursions. There's classic, which is usually a historical walking tour. And they typically split the groups into faster groups or slower groups, specifically, you know, how much ground you want to cover. There's active. For our tour, you'll see our cruise. That's going to be mostly hiking and biking. Certainly not something I expect everyone to do, but it is available if you want to do that. And then Discovery. Discovery is a type of excursion that really gets more into the culture of where we are. So there's a few Discovery that are offered for our cruise. But then, of course, there's the Premium. And Premium, there are a few on our cruise that are not included with the cruise cost, not one of those classic, active, and Discovery, but are an additional cost. And you can start booking all of those on May the 7th. So, of course, a reminder, our itinerary. For some of you, I know it's been a while since we booked, and so you might be like, where are we even going? I don't even know. You might know some of the big cities, but the smaller cities are not on your radar, which is perfectly fine. That's very normal for river cruising. But you can see here we are starting in Budapest and sailing westbound into Germany in Wilhelmshaven. So we are going to be in Hungary, Slovakia, Austria, and Germany on our cruise. So we're going to cover a lot of ground and see a lot of really special places. So starting out before our cruise, of course, most of you have purchased 1 or 2 pre-nights in Budapest. So this is a picture of our hotel, the Intercontinental in Budapest. It's right across the river from Buda Castle, and it's right along the Danube River. And this is really special for 2 reasons. One, because of the walkability. You're going to be able to walk to a lot of places while you are there. So a lot of really great opportunities for exploring on your own without a lot of hassle. But then too, Budapest is one of the most beautiful cities at night. And so I'm really excited about even just walking outside of our hotel and seeing the city lit up. The city of Budapest is called the Pearl of the Danube. It's one of the most beautiful cities in all of Europe. And we get to stay there 1 or 2 nights, depending on when you come in. Daily breakfast is included with your stay. But we don't have any included lunches or dinner with that pre-cruise stay, so that's something to be aware of. But there's, if you look in the chat, I did go ahead and before we got started, included a Budapest handout that I've made for you. That handout includes some places to eat that are easy to get to from the hotel, some attractions that I recommend you checking out, especially there's 1 or 2 that require advance tickets, like the Opera House, for example. So taking a look at those, and then just some general information about getting around Budapest. And so that'll be helpful. Don't worry about holding on to that, especially if you're on your phone. Don't worry about that right now. I am going to be sending everyone a full itinerary with that handout on there for you. But for today, it's a good thing to have so you can start thinking about your time in Budapest that's not necessarily scheduled. Okay, so August the 4th, most people are going to be in Budapest on August the 4th, staying at the hotel together. So Avalon has been very kind and put together a excursion dinner option for us. So this is going to be later in the afternoon on the 4th. So if you fly in the 4th, most of you fly in and land between 10 a.m. and noon. So you would be able to join us on this if you want to. But around 4 p.m., we're going to leave the hotel and have transportation to the Parliament building, which you can see here lit up, and have a private tour of Parliament. And then afterward, a dinner that I'm very excited about. It's going to be a 3-course meal at the Urban Betar restaurant. This restaurant is not just a restaurant, but it's also a museum. And so inside of the museum, which is complimentary with your dinner, it's a collection of Hungarian, it's essentially a museum of what Hungarian life looked like in the late 19th, earlier 20th century, pre-World War II, essentially. And so it's a collection of furniture, clothing, household items. And so I'm really excited to be able to go there too. That option is $217 per person. So like I said, that includes the transportation, the tour at the Parliament building, and that 3-course dinner. So it's a very nice dinner, so I hope everyone chooses to join us. I will be reaching out to see if anyone does not want to join us, just so I can have that information to pass along to Avalon. And then August the 5th, we are moving from our hotel to the ship. They're going to come get us about 10:30 a.m. We get to the ship, get settled in. They'll have a reception that's kind of a light lunch. You can go to the room once it's ready. If you've ocean cruised before, you know that embarkation day, sometimes it's hours before your room is ready. I do expect our rooms all to be ready before noon. And so you can go to the room and just relax. You can go up on the sky deck and relax. But there are no excursions planned for that day. So that day is really more about arriving and getting all the rooms settled and making sure everything is taken care of. So if you return to that handout that I gave you, if you want to get on the ship and then leave the ship and go explore more of the city, you certainly can, and I encourage you to. So we're on the ship overnight in Budapest. So we moved from the hotel to the ship, but we're not sailing away yet. So we have the full day of August the 6th in Avalon's charge over there in Budapest. So we're going to have a city guided tour. We're going to be driven around different places, but also we're going to go to the Heroes Square. Heroes Square is a monument that honors different times in history there in Budapest, from Roman to World War II, all the way to, honestly, the effect that communism had on the Hungarian people. So it's a really great place to go and see the context of the city that we'll be in. And then after our guided tour, we are going to the Monarchia luxury Christmas shop, and they have graciously just added that on, no extra cost for the transportation or anything. And we have about 40 minutes to shop there, get pictures there. But these are all very, very nice, handmade European Christmas ornaments and items that you can take home with you. Then later in the evening, we will sail away. We will start our journey and sail away from Budapest. So we'll be sailing away at night, moving away from the Pearl of the Danube, all lit up, and going toward Bratislava. Now, in the afternoon, there are some optional things to do in Budapest, including a food tour and an art and architecture tour. So if you want to add those in addition to what we're doing as a group, you certainly can, and that will be available to you on May the 7th. So then we moved from to Budapest to Bratislava, and we made it in our day in Slovakia. This is going to be a day where you can choose from the guided city tour, or you can do the active tour. I expect everyone to do the classic walking tour, to be honest, and that's perfectly wonderful. One side note is Avalon has all of the names and staterooms for our group, of course, and whenever we are leaving the ship for an excursion, they always put people in different groups based on color coding. So you're in the yellow group, so get on the yellow bus, go with the guide with the yellow. They call it a lollipop, but it's a stick with the yellow sticker on the top. Our colors are red and green the whole time, so easy to keep up with your people. But one of the great things is we are going to be able to go to the St. Martin's Cathedral, which you can see here. So a really, really special experience there in Bratislava. It's right there on the Danube. And then later in the day, there are going to be optional workshops that are Christmas themed, that are painting or cooking. One side note, because we are not the entire ship, anyone who is on the ship is allowed and welcome to join us. But this particular two options, they are going to be Christmas themed. But who knows? Maybe we'll have some people who didn't know they were getting on the ship with Santa and Mrs. Claus, and they still get to enjoy this too.
Boy, are they going to be in for a shock.
I see Dan and Susan Pless. Do you have a question? If you're speaking, I cannot hear you. I think you're on mute.
They are muted.
Yeah, you stopped sharing your screen.
I did? You can't see the screen?
Nope, we see you.
No, you're still up, Lizzie.
Oh, okay. Double check, because I see that I am still sharing. Double check again that you might be on the wrong tab. Sometimes
And at the top of the Zoom meeting window itself, there's a meeting and a Lizzie Meeks screen.
Yep.
You can click on either one of those, and that should jump you back to the other one.
Perfect. Thank you for that help.
I was thinking of clicking it and then click back, but
Okay, we're going to keep moving.
No.
All right. And then on August the 8th, we're going to be in Vienna, beautiful city of Vienna. I'm very excited about this day. When you do, on May the 7th, when you do sign in to book your excursions, there are going to be a few different options for your day in Vienna. But there is only one that will include a special Christmas surprise just for us when the tour is over. And that one is the Treasures of Vienna, it's the city site, guided sites tour, which is going to be the Opera House, St. Stephen's Cathedral. So if you're wanting to do the Christmas surprise and get more of the Christmas context while you're in the city, that is the tour that you will want to choose. And it is no additional cost for any of you to do that. And then after the tour, you can return to the ship or you can stay in the city. So we'll have free time in the afternoon. There is an option to go to the old Austrian palace. I highly recommend that. It is the palace that rivaled Versailles in opulence when the Austrian Empire was in its full glory. So that is one thing that's going to be available. That's an additional premium tour that is available to all of us. Additionally, in the evening after dinner, there's a premium experience, which is a private concert in an opulent hall with musicians, dancers, and that is also going to be a very special experience. And so that day, there are 2 additional premium options for you to choose from. Going down the river to Dürnstein. After we leave Vienna, the fun does not stop. The more we go down the Danube, it just gets more and more beautiful. So the Wachau Valley is one of our scenic sailing days. So August 9th is going to be a very busy day, but it's going to be very special. We're going to leave Vienna and we're going to get to Dürnstein, where we have a classic tour of the city and hear about King Richard the Lionheart, who was imprisoned there during the Crusades. And then we're going to, after spending some time in Dürnstein, get yourself a pastry, do some shopping. We're going to get back on the ship and sail westbound through the Wachau Valley, which is a stunning part of the Danube River, through vineyards, through old villages and towns. And then we're going to land in Melk. And Melk is home to one of the oldest abbeys in all of Europe. It's the original abbey itself. It's been through some stuff. There's been fires and wars and things, and so some of the abbey is new, some of it is not. But the original abbey that was on that site is over 1,000 years old, and the library inside of Melk Abbey is absolutely stunning. So this is not a modest abbey. This is a very opulent abbey, and so this is a great excursion for everyone. But if you would rather go to a smaller Austrian town called Ybbs, that is also available, and you can go to a castle there, or you can go to a more modest excursion where you get to do some pastry baking and visit a working bee farm there in Austria. So this day in particular might be, when we get to Melk, you might have some difficulty choosing what you want to do, but this is going to be a busy but also relaxing and beautiful day. Moving on to Linz. Now, we are not going to spend much time in Linz because this is our full day excursion from Linz to Salzburg. And we're going to have our Sound of Music Delight Tour, seeing Salzburg, the majestic surroundings. So, of course, not a bad place in the world for photographs, right? But then, of course, this is the day that on our way back from Salzburg, we're going to take the detour and go to Oberndorf and see this beautiful chapel, this beautiful site where Silent Night was first performed in 1818. We're gonna come back to this if you'd like to, but I was speaking to Avalon yesterday in the European office, putting all this together, and they'd like to go ahead and put this tour, which is $153 per person. It's a 10-hour tour because we have to drive out there to Salzburg, drive to Oberndorf and come back. So there's going to be a lot involved in this. So to keep it private with just our group, they would like to go ahead and add it onto everyone's vacation package total instead of booking it through the excursions that go live on May the 7th. If it's part of the May 7th excursions, that means anyone on the ship can really book into that, which personally I'm not against, but they want to keep this as private and special for our group as possible. So I don't want you to shout out now, but if anyone has a problem with that, or wants to talk about it more, please reach out to me. But I'll also be in communication today with everybody about what that looks like. Okay, and nearing the end of our cruise, our time together, the Slogan Oxbow is another scenic sailing day on August the 11th. So it's a horseshoe bend part of the river. You see in this bottom picture what that looks like from above. It's going to be absolutely stunning. It's going to be relaxing. We will have seen and done a lot at this point. So this is going to be a very relaxing day. And then once we get to Passau, there is a city walking tour. And then, of course, there is an active if you want to do a bike ride. That's available as well. And I failed to mention, I apologize, when we're in these red and green city walking tours, all of the guides have been pre-instructed who we are and what our group is about. So in addition to the general information that they usually give, they have been instructed to give us information about historical traditions and experiences and things that people used to do and still do in reference to Christmas. And so it's going to be a really unique, special tour experience that is not offered anywhere else. That will conclude the cruise. So on August the 12th, we're disembarking in Wilhelmshaven. We have a lot of people going to Munich for flights. We have a lot of people who are continuing on and doing other things, including many of you who are doing the Prague extension. So the Prague extension, they're taking care of you the whole time. So you're going to get off the ship onto a motor coach all together. On your way to Prague, you are going to stop in Regensburg, which is an old fairy tale town, honestly, the old town. You're going to have a quick guided tour there just to see kind of the general old town square and give you some more context to where you are. And then you'll have free time for lunch to walk around, stretch your legs, explore before you continue on to Prague and I'm really jealous because I wish I was doing the Prague extension. I have to get home because my kids have to start school. But in Prague, you'll have a guided tour on the 13th, including seeing the astronomical clock, which there's only a few of those in the world. I have seen one in Strasbourg, and I want to see, there's one in, I think there's one in Venice, and one other place. But being able to say that you've seen one of those clocks is very, very special. So that is all available to you. And then after that, you'll have free time in Prague to explore. And then on the 14th, you will be taken to the Prague airport unless you are continuing on to do something else. Whew, it's a lot. I want to pause here. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can see you all and look at the chat. Oh, not one question in the chat. Does anyone have any question about any of the excursions?
Lizzie, it wouldn't let us, it said the chat wasn't open. It wouldn't let us do the chat.
Oh.
My chat's open.
Yep, I'm seeing some people. I see where everyone put in where they're from, and then, yep, open, open, open. Pam, did you have a question that you wanted to ask that you couldn't get into the chat?
I was looking to see what else was in the chat. Mine is okay now.
Oh,
it
good.
Wasn't earlier, so
okay.
It's fine now.
Sean Coley, is your hand up? Is that what I'm seeing? Natasha? There you are.
Yes. My hand was up. I know, especially speaking from a foodie perspective, I would like to get more information on the excursions where we can do cooking classes, because I think that is something that Tasha and I would be more interested in. I would love some of the things, especially she is a big Sound of Music fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure she would like to do that classic walking tour to go ahead and get her pictures and live her musical life.
Yes.
But I would like more information on those particular opportunities to do those type of excursions. Because I know on the first day with that first one that you were telling us about, that particular tour or that particular excursion, we will definitely be doing that.
Great, great. Yeah, so let me continue on with the presentation because it ties into what you are saying about getting more details.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me make sure I am back on track here. Okay. All right, so moving on about some things about the excursions that I want you to know. You, of course, you'll have premium experiences available in Budapest, Bratislava, and Vienna. The rest of the itineraries excursions are included in your cruise cost. So you will definitely have, and you'll see in the next few slides what that will look like. They do go live on May the 7th. I'm going to be sending you information on, in addition to this webinar, how to do that. Don't stress. It's all going to work out. You're going to get what you want. But I also don't want everyone to wait until July to book their excursions either. So I am going to go in and make sure, I'm going to double check and make sure everybody's got everything done. If you have issues, let me know. I'm around. You're not required to stick with your travel companion. So you got a spouse, they want to do this, you want to do that. You can do different things. So you have the freedom to do what both interests you. Booking early is key to getting what you want. Some things really do fill up, especially those more premium experiences. And you will be required to pay for any of the premium excursions at the time of booking. So on May 7th, be prepared to pay for any additional premium excursions that you choose. Now, stuff happens. If a tour cannot happen because of weather or the guide is sick or whatever happens, you will be refunded that amount if the tour does not happen. Okay. Now we're going to briefly talk about how to book the excursions. So I think everyone has pretty much done this, but I'm going to run through it anyways. What you'll do is you'll go to the Avalon website, avalonwaterways.com. In the top right-hand corner, there's a little tiny, I wish they'd make this bigger. There's a little tiny section that says My Avalon. You'll click on that. And if you haven't already, I think everybody has to do your guest acknowledgement, but you'll set up your Avalon account. Once you're in the account, you'll have a dashboard that looks like this. I'm pretty sure most of you have seen this. If you haven't yet, that's okay too. But you have this dashboard with this drop-down menu that has essentially everything that you can do. You're not able to use the make a payment section because you booked through me, but everything else you're able to open and access, including excursions right there on that third line. You will need to know your reservation number, so keep that in mind. But you'll put in your reservation number, My Excursions, and I'll show you in the next page what pops up when it's live. But one quick note, if you book excursions, you pay for it, transaction goes through, and you can't find them in the portal or you didn't get an email or anything, don't panic. I am able to see what you have purchased. So I'm able to get in there and see, yes, it was successful. I see them, or I'll say, oh, doesn't look like it went through. Let's try again. So I can double check your work for you. This is an example. It's not for our itinerary. This is an Amsterdam itinerary. But here are some examples. So Sean, you were just asking about getting some more information. This is a overview of what it is. And then when you click on View Excursions, you get a little bit more detail on each of these options. But you'll see these are discovery, they're active, but most of these included choice. But if we move over here, like this one is a World War II excursion that's available on this particular itinerary. This one is a $73 per person cost. Underneath that, there's this All Saints Vineyard tour, $84 a person. Again, this is not our itinerary, it's a different one. This is just for showing you examples. But this is what you'll see in that portal when it goes live on May the 7th. And then you'll go in there and you will make your selections. The Avalon app will not populate anything until about 3 weeks before we travel. Okay, so the app is useful when we're there, not so helpful or useful today. But the best way to do this, of course, is through the website. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do this webinar is it's really helpful to have an idea of what's available before that date, so you have kind of a game plan. So I also will be posting on our Facebook group which excursions are available, and then I'll be emailing everyone that information as well. So I'd like to open any more questions? Oh, wait.
Lizzie, you said that everything will go live on the 7th.
Yes.
And I don't know if and you may have already mentioned this before, but my question is it if we go into our account on my Avalon and go into my Avalon account, do we get a chance to see what's available, or that won't be available until the 7th?
It will not be available in there until the 7th.
Okay.
Which is one of the reasons why I wanted to go ahead and have this for you, so you would have an idea of what is available each day. Now, I know I went fast. This is being recorded. I'm going to send it to all of you. I'm going to have it on the Facebook page. But I'll also, would it help if I just did a quick handout of each day?
Yes.
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 So I'll make that for you and send it to you as well, so
Yes.
you can see the different choices.
Because I want to make sure that my missus sees everything and makes a decision on what she wants to do.
Yes.
But like I said before, I don't know. It would be great to let her have a visualization of what all she wants to do.
And
So
I
we
think
can go
that's
ahead
very
and
wise. I think that's
make
very wise. Yeah.
a decision and get it done, and not waiting until the last minute to where, gosh darn it, everything's full. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's that. I don't want that for anybody. So I'm going to be checking on all of you to make sure. Now, if you get the information from me, Sean here, he's asking specifically about any of the food tours. I'm in contact with my team at Avalon. If there's anything that you want me to clarify as far as what the tour is, if you have any concerns about how far any of the walking is, how strenuous one of the active might be, what kind of food, your experience, just let me know and I'll find out everything I can through my team there in Europe. I'm going to shift to the chat here. Yes, so Meg, even if it is an included excursion, they still would like you to select it. So even if it's not one of those premiums that you pay for, they need a head count. They need to make sure they have the right amount of guides, the right amount of entry tickets, all of that. So yes, even if it's an included, please still make your selection.
Any questions I can ask?
Yes, the app is called Avalon Go. How can we tell the distance walking at each port? The distance, depending on maybe where so if we're at, let's say, Bratislava, and we're docked there, you will be able to get off the ship and walk into the city and explore. If we're at Bratislava and there is a city walking tour, the majority of that will mean we will get off the ship and there will be a motor coach there waiting for us, and they will take us to the city center or wherever, up the hill to the abbey, the monastery, or wherever it is. Nobody's climbing any mountains on this, okay? I don't want to do that. Nobody's climbing any mountains. So if you have any specific concerns, please reach out to me. But this is not, it's easy walking.
I like that Sound of Music tie in there.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Climb every mountain.
I'm sad that we're not. So last year was the 70th anniversary for Sound of Music.
Yeah.
So we just barely missed it. How large are the groups for walking or active? So the groups are going to be between 20 and 30 people per group. And then, now, one thing to know, because I have had people in my life who, one concern is being able to hear the guide. So one thing to know, when you get on the ship, everyone in the room is going to have a headset system that you need to charge every night and take with you on the tours. So when you're walking around, the guide is not yelling over a sea of people trying to give you historical context. They're going to be talking like I'm talking right now into a microphone, and you can be, 10, 20 feet away from them and hear them in your ear. So it's very, very nice. You should not miss anything because of that system. If you need to walk closer to the guide, just tell them that. If you're worried about missing anything, we can make that happen too. Knowing ahead of time how much walking or stairs would be helpful. Yeah, I'll tell you two things. One, I'm not going to be able to know everywhere we go how many stairs there are. I'm just not going to be able to do that. But we have a great resource with Avalon and our cruise director. So keep in mind, our cruise director, who yesterday I found out is Tony. So yay, Tony. He will be at our hotel in Budapest with us the whole time. If you're doing the Prague extension, he will be with you the whole time. So Tony is probably going to be my best friend on this cruise. Sorry, Jonathan, my husband, you're my best friend too. But Tony's going to be like my boy because he's going to know everything that I don't know. He does this sailing a lot. He's on this river a lot. That's his life. That's his everyday. That's his job. So if there are things like this that are very specific, we are going to have someone there outside of me who has this information for you. So again, if you have any concerns, just let us know and we'll make sure you're taken care of. Yes, I like to bring my own headphones for the audio box. They are better than the free ones provided. Becky, that's true. If you have an older iPhone headset with the wire, that's what you would want to bring. The sound boxes are the round cord. It's not like a lightning cord. And I might not be speaking your language right now, but if you want to bring your own headphones, you can shoot me a text with a picture and be like, will this work? And I'll tell you. Or you can bring them, and then if they work, they work. And if they don't, you still have what they bring you on the ship. How do the headsets work for those who have hearing aids? So the headsets go over your ear. They're not like an AirPod that goes straight in your ear. They go over your ear and sit on top. I have a photo of myself that I can find and show you, Eileen. But instead of going straight in your ear, it kind of sits on top and goes over your ear. So that is something that they have considered in the past and tried to account for. Again, if that is not sufficient, I would say we just need to keep you close to the guide. And will we need to purchase electric plug converters? Yes. The packing list that I sent you has the ones that I recommend for that. And then keep in mind, we will have a webinar talking about packing and what you need to bring, because the ship is a European plug. It's not an American outlet. And is there any wireless capability? Rand, do you mean specifically for the tour?
Yes.
Yes. No, unfortunately. The system that they have, it's like a radio system. And so they're going to say, like, everybody go to channel 8. And that's the channel that we're on. So it's not a system of connecting like through Bluetooth, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Y'all are good. Keep them coming. What else you got?
Lizzie, approximately how much of the boat is the Santa group and how much is regular people?
Yeah. So the ship holds 52. Well, the ship has 52 rooms. We are 32 of those. And as of 4 days ago, when I checked, there were still 8 that were not sold, or between 8 or 9. So we are, we have to be very kind to those sweet people who are not in our group, because they're going to be surprised, I think, that when they get on board. So we are the majority of the ship, for sure. And there will be, on board, there will be some, I'm not going to give anything away, but there will be some fun treats for us who are in this group.
I am so excited about this. I'm looking forward to this trip and to see everybody and just hang out and have such a great time. So I cannot wait to see you all in a few months.
Thank you for that, Sean. I echo that big time. I have been
Glad you changed your mind, Sean.
So I have been so excited to meet all of you face to face. I've met some of you face to face through mom and dad. If you don't know already, Margaret and Stephen Kern are my parents. Don't believe anything he says, okay? We do
You're
have
not
one.
sweet.
Oh, go ahead.
You're not a sweet and loving person?
Oh, well.
He lied?
Now that makes me feel bad. I set myself up for that, didn't I? Amanda, yes, we are a 2 CPAP couple. Are there outlets near the bed, or will we need an extension cord? That's a really good question. When I asked all of you to fill out the information form, the CPAP question was on there because I had a feeling, I've had so many people river cruise, and CPAP machines are so common. So first, they will supply distilled water on board.
Oh, yeah.
So you do not have to get on that international flight with your jugs of water.
Thank God.
Right. So number one, that is one of the reasons why I asked, is because we do not want to make you do that. Second thing is, there are not outlets on either side of the bed. There's going to be an outlet on the side with the wall, because there's a little side table and a lamp. And then there's an outlet on the side with the desk. So keep in mind when think about the stateroom, when you walk in, it's the beds facing the window. You've got the panorama view. There's going to be a desk either on the right or left, and then a wall on the right or left on the other side of the bed. So yes, this is actually a question that I asked a friend of mine who sails Avalon a lot, and she and her husband both need to have CPAP machines or other medical equipment, and she sent me what they use, and I need to send that to all of you as well. So very relevant question for everyone, Amanda. Thank you for asking that. Pluses, how strict are they on the size of the luggage? Not really. The reason why they have the information on the size of the bag, so Avalon's official language is 1 checked bag. A checked bag in the United States is 50 pounds, okay? So that's your checked bag. It's up to 50 pounds or lower. 1 checked bag, 1 carry-on bag, so your carry-on luggage that can go above the overhead bin, or you can check that as well. And then your personal item, your backpack, your side bag, whatever it is. The reason why they have that is because of the porterage. If everybody had 3 large checked bags, it would just be too much work on the crew. Our crew, our passengers, it's limited to 128 passengers. We're not going to even have that many. Our crew are not the big ocean cruise manpower. They're going to be zipping around, moving and grooving the whole time. But if everybody had, 3 large checked bags, it'd just be too much work for them. So, pluses, let's maybe talk offline because I'm wondering if you're asking that because you're spending so much time. They're leaving in like a month before we sail, you guys. They have this big adventure. So if we have specific questions about how to pack for you, um, let's talk about that. But we also have a whole webinar about packing too. And keep in mind, you can do laundry while you're on board. So utilize that if you're worried about overpacking or having enough.
It's really good to know.
Wi-Fi on the ship, yes. Starlink works like a charm. And we're going to talk more about technology in the future as well. About do you need an international phone plan because you want your phone to be able to work when you're not on the ship for your Google Maps, for example. You want to be able to use that. FaceTime your grandbabies and say, I'm on top of I'm on top of this mountain at this abbey. Take your pictures, whatever it is. Get in for, have people contact you while you're sailing. But yes, the Wi-Fi on the ship is very good. And that's, I've never had anybody have an issue with it. Okay. You're concerned with the physical size of the bag. Let's talk more one-on-one because my next question is, well, just how big is your bag? So let's just talk more. And Daniel, let's connect. If it is one of those standard checked bags that you buy, well, let's talk more. But again, we're going to have a whole webinar about packing. Should we pack warm or cool clothes? So it's going to be hot. Sean's coming to us from Florida, so hot is relative to him. But this is not Orlando hot. This is not Orlando humid. This is not Tennessee humid. The river it's going to be hot during the day, probably in the 80s during the day, highs in the 80s. But in the evenings, it does cool down. So layers is the key here. I don't recommend, I don't necessarily recommend shorts. You could pack 1 or 2 pair of shorts and that'd be fine if you're doing like walking around the sky deck, walking around. The reason why I'm hesitant too is because we are visiting some cathedrals, abbeys, places like that. And if you're a woman, if you show your knees, depending on how strict they are, you're denied entry. But the key here is layers. So I would say being able to have a sweatshirt, have a sweater, have a pullover, all of that you can take on and off is the key. And then slacks are fine. Ladies, you can wear your sundresses, that sort of thing.
Well, the reason why I'm asking Lizzie is not because I'm trying to get a feel on how I need to pack so I don't have a weight issue with our luggage.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I ask. And also, you already know that we're spending a few days in Paris.
Right.
So I just want to know how I need to pack to stay comfortable and enjoy myself and not.
Yeah. Because we want to pack, we want to be comfortable, but we want to look a little nicer. We're in Europe, right? Like we don't want to wear t-shirts every day. I get that. One of the things that we're going to talk about in the packing webinar is something called a capsule wardrobe. And a capsule wardrobe means that you bring a few pieces that you can wear a variety of ways. And so I'm going to do a packing and demonstration for everybody because this is a really common question is, what do I bring? Weather is one of those things. I would just plan on it being warm during the day, cool at night. Okay. I would plan to bring comfortable shoes. I would plan to bring, layers that you can take on and off, whether that's a rain jacket. I don't anticipate it raining a lot while we're there. That time of year is a little bit more dry. And I would anticipate having a few outfits that you could dress up. And even when I say that, button-down shirts, polo shirts, but nothing formal. but we will definitely be talking about this more. Should we bring a swimsuit for the hot tub? I've heard some churches have stricter dress codes. Okay. Yes. Bring a swimsuit for the hot tub that's on board. There's a pool in the hotel in Budapest as well. There are spa experiences in Budapest. So Budapest is known for their spas, and so a swimsuit is a good idea to throw in. And the churches, yeah, have stricter rules. I'm gonna just, this was so embarrassing that this happened to me because I was supposed to be the pro. But my husband and I, when we were in Paris this past summer, we decided to go to Notre Dame on a Sunday. It was great. We got to see during worship. And we got to the front of the line and I got yelled at in French and I didn't know what was going on. And it was because I was in a strapless dress. Very nice dress, but I was showing my shoulders. And I was immediately sent away. And this woman who was making a killing on the corner of Notre Dame, she sold me a scarf. And there were all these women lining up to get their scarves to cover their shoulders. It's one of my favorite souvenirs to this day because I love experiences when I travel that teach me, because that means I get to always, I don't know what I was thinking, you guys, but Sundays are a day that are more strict. Okay, so if we're going to be visiting on a Sunday, that's God's day. That's the day of worship. So women need to not show their shoulders or their knees. I don't know from our itinerary, if I'm being very honest, which abbey, which cathedral, which basilica is necessarily going to be more strict. I'm not sure. So I would just, I can certainly ask. But again, layers is the key here. So having a little cardigan sweater that you can throw on if you need to is going to be really valuable for the ladies. Does anyone have any other questions about the itinerary or the excursions themselves before I stop this recording?
Can you send us a PDF of everything that's going to go live on the 7th beforehand?
Yes. So I'm going to send everyone a copy of this recording with the handouts, so you can see an overview of what is going to go live for each day. And like I said, this isn't, Mike, you've been to Disney before. This isn't, if you're not up at 5 a.m., you don't get the certain restaurant, that kind of thing for Disney World. Everything's not going to sell out immediately, but it is just wise to go ahead and get it taken care of.
Lizzie, I have a suggestion.
Okay.
That I've learned from traveling to Europe. Just always, as a woman, always bring a shawl or something lightweight. Then you just throw it in your backpack, especially if it's just a lightweight scarf. It covers and it works for any place that all of a sudden you're at, you need to be covered.
And you know what, Eileen? We were even on a river cruise where they gave me a free scarf and I still had to go buy it from the woman in Paris. But it's a good story. Yeah, Eileen, that's a really good point. Just having even a lightweight scarf to throw over your shoulders helps as well.
And another question, and you may not know this, do you think there's any chance that we are on Sunday, I'm not sure which day that will be, where we'll be, that there'll be a chance to do church in any way?
Well,
I don't know which town. I haven't got a calendar handy to figure that out. It's just a curiosity, not in the...
and we can talk more one-on-one about that, Eileen. But that is the day on August the 8th is a Sunday, and that's the day where you're in Vienna.
Oh.
So if that's a priority to you, it might be something that you do separate from the group.
Right.
But that's a busy day. You will be in a church that day.
Be in that church
just
that
not
day.
worship. So that's all.
That's all. Just curiosity.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I know on some ocean cruises they offer a morning worship. That is not something that's traditionally offered on river cruising, just so you know as well.
Yep.
Okay, anything else?
Are all the tips and everything going to be included in what we pay?
Yeah, so prepaid gratuities have been added to everybody's invoice, and that is going to cover everyone except for the excursion guide. So when you think of prepaid gratuities, think of that as the people who are through Avalon on the ship. So when we're in groups this large, it's customary to just give a few euro. When you're touring with 20 plus people, you do not have to give 5, 10 euro. 1, 2, 3 euro is fantastic.
Okay. You said that there's laundry on board.
Mm-hmm.
Is this overnight laundry, get it back? Or is this like we had on a Princess cruise here with Tim's group where we'd give them our laundry and 3 days, 4 days later, we get it back?
4 days?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
I would have been, no, sir. You give it to them in the morning, you have it back in the afternoon.
Okay, is there an extra charge for that?
There is an extra charge. I don't have it on me right now, but I have an Avalon price chart, but essentially it's per item. And it's put on your billing portfolio for when you check out, when we disembark.
It'll be cheaper than paying for an overweight bag.
That's very true. Yeah.
You said that bag weight is 50 pounds. Whenever I'm flying with American, I have a 70-pound limit.
Then they have been very kind to you, Santa Mike, because that is
no, you don't.
50.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm up at the front of the plane, so maybe that's
got a lot to do with it. You paid for it.
Yeah. So if you are, and we have a few people who have premium economy and business class flights, you do get 2 checked bags when you fly in that cabin category. Basically, if you have that much luggage, it's so much work on the porters, and they're just really strict about the porterage. That's one of the bigger issues. Space too. Our cabins are not small. I mean, it's a river cruise, so it's small. Everything's small. But if you have 2 people in a room and you have 2 50-pound checked bags plus a carry-on plus a backpack and everything, your room's going to feel real snug. So that's just not what I recommend at all. I can tell everyone's really excited. This is going to be fantastic.
Hey,
What else?
Lizzie.
Yes.
Snug in the room. Is there a closet in each room?
Yes.
We're experiencing a hotel with no closets, and it was a shock to us.
Oh no! Yes, there's a
Yeah.
closet.
Okay.
With hangers, complimentary hangers, wooden
Okay.
hangers, and there are, I believe on Avalon they don't have drawers, but they have the little closet with the shelves.
Okay. Also, do they provide hair dryers? Because I know the
Yes.
the hair dryers we have won't work off their electrical system. For
Yeah.
anyone who's unaware of that.
You don't
My
need to
experience.
pack. Yeah. The hair dryer situation is touch and go wherever you are, but with Avalon in particular, we always joke a woman designed this stateroom because they're the best hair dryers you will ever have when you're traveling. So you truly do not need to pack one.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Lizzie, when we book these excursions, are they going to charge us right then on the spot?
Yes.
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 Yes, sir.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Lizzie, hey there.
Hey,
is there a pool or a hot tub on this ship?
There is a hot tub. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
She did say.
Yep. It's up on the sky deck, and 24/7. Y'all are adults. There's no lifeguard. They don't close it. So if it's, we're going to be there in Europe this time of year that we're sailing, expect the sun to set around 10.
Oh, wow.
So after dinner, if you're not like me and I feel like I have to be rolled in the room most nights after dinner and you want to put on your swimsuit, you can go for it. But yeah, we spend a lot of time up on the sky deck because it's so pleasant up there.
Okay, I have a question about the pool, the hot tub. How
Sure.
many hot tubs are there with 150 people? Is it several or?
No, there's just the one.
Oh, okay.
They say 10 people can fit in there. That's pretty tight. But yeah, just the one.
All right. Okay.
Hot tubbers will be making lots of friends.
Yes, they will.
Lizzie, is there an actual washer and dryer that guests can use, or is it just the laundry service? And then there was another question in the chat about, can you give us an idea of how much money to have on hand would be helpful?
Yeah. And tipping and currency is also one of our webinars coming up as well. I'm putting that with technology. So yes, so to your question about are there any self-service laundry facilities, the answer is no. So if you do want to utilize laundry on board, it's one of those things that you have to be treated to it. And they take care of it for you, and it's an additional cost. But as far as currency, we're gonna talk about that. But one of the things I tell people is it depends on your spending habits. Okay. So oh gosh, you guys, I didn't even talk about one of my most exciting things. We are going to have Christmas market. I can't believe I didn't talk about this. It's because it finally was confirmed yesterday and all of this. So we are going to have Christmas market vendors come on board and do a demonstration. We have one who is a wood carver, and we have one who does like straw angels, and they're gonna give us a demonstration on what they make and how they make it. In addition to that, I have also been offered to have 2 more vendors who do not do a demonstration, but that they sell. We're gonna have the Christmas shop in Budapest. The first thing I want to tell you is your credit card is going to work everywhere pretty much. So I do not recommend that you carry thousands of dollars in cash with you. That is not recommended. But let me clarify with Avalon what payment looks like for the vendors on board. I'm going to make a note of that right now. But again, when we talk about money and technology, I'm going to have a lot to say about how to prepare your wallet for when we travel. And I know, forgive me, I know you have questions, and I'm like, we're going to talk about it later. It's just there's so much to cover, and the presentation today is what you can expect for future topics, where there's handouts, there's detailed information, there's recordings for everyone who cannot join us live as well.
You could even take this and tip one of the guys with this. I'd never know.
Okay.
To make them on.
Thank you everybody for your time today. We're right a little over an hour now, so I want to be mindful of your time. If there is anything else that you have questions about in regards to the excursions specifically, we still got some time. Okay, so I want to share with you a reminder that final payment is due May the 7th. As of today, I have half the ship is paid in full. Yay. And then we have another webinar on May 21st talking about, it says Monday. That should be money, technology, and safety. So how to prepare your wallet, how to prepare your phone, and how to prepare some best practices for safety while you're in large cities and traveling. That's going to be at 1 p.m. on May 21st. On June 18th, we have preparing and packing. So going over a lot of the things that you guys are curious about. Again, with handouts, a packing demonstration, talking about the capsule wardrobe and that kind of thing. That is going to be at 6 p.m. Central Time. on June 18th. And then on July 16th is our Bon Voyage call, final questions, July 16th at 1 o'clock Central Time. That call is going to cover, what do I do when I land? Where do I go? What do I need to make sure I have done that we haven't done yet? We're going to talk a little bit about travel insurance and making sure you know how to find your policy, what to do if your flight's canceled, delayed, anything like that. So that you, by the time whatever date that you're leaving rolls around, you feel prepared and you feel like you know how to find the answers to the questions you may have when you're actually en route and traveling. So I am going to wrap up today's meeting. Again, please reach out if you have any specific questions. I loved seeing all your faces today. I cannot wait to see you again next month. And we are one day closer to being on the river. Love it. Okay, goodbye, everyone.
When will you have this information, the video of what we did today, the PDFs and everything else out to us?
Definitely by the end of the week. I have another meeting here with some people in a little bit, and my goal is to get this to you in the next 24 to 48 hours. Does that sound good?
Yeah. When we give you our credit card to run this stuff, how quickly will you run that so that we can get it through? And
well, so that's a good question. I ran a few payments today. I realized, just being very honest, I cannot believe it's April 23rd. So there were a few people who gave me their card like over the weekend, and I processed it today. If you need it done like immediately, I can bump you up priority and do it immediately if you need that. But typically it's about within a 3 to 4 day window. Part of that is Santa Mike. When I run payments, I try so hard to make sure that I don't have any other distractions around me. Some of these are quite high, and I just don't want to have user error. So, for example, I don't run payments at 10 o'clock at night, even though I might have the space and time, because my brain does not work the same at 10 o'clock at night. And in the 13 years I've been doing this, that is typically when I make a mistake. So that is one of the reasons why sometimes I cannot get to it immediately. Okay. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Reach out if you need anything. Thank you. Bye-bye.